Hey everyone, it's Ross from Mythic Mountains Folk Tabletop Club. What you're about to see are the ongoing adventures of our years-long running Rappan Athuk Mega Dungeon campaign using swords and wizardry, a retroclone of the original D&D game. Like, subscribe, and share if you wish. You're welcome to join us, and we hope you enjoy. It is miles beneath, a demon-haunted maze that once swallowed a crusading army. The legendary Rappan Athuk, the Dungeon of Graves. A handful of iron-thewed men risk their lives, their very souls, to plunder and explore, to stop the creeping tendrils of chaos. This is their story.
Albion, where the wind is dead, but the sky sprinkles everything beneath it with a gentle pattering of snowflakes. All around you, to as far as you can see, the land is a pale, soft white, dappled down with a feathery bed of snowflakes. The horizon has grown nearer, and you cannot see far, not because there is a gale storm, but because the steady fall of flakes allows the horizon to transform into a dull, soft white. It would be tremendously beautiful beyond measure, if it were not so bloody cold to be outside for even one moment. Fortunately, at this point, which of you does not have access to either a Yeti skin cloak or similar to either a Yeti skin cloak, or B, just a huge pile of regular winter garments that you can heap yourself up until you look like a dome? Are you all able to effectively swaddle yourselves in insulation and garments?
We chose to do that,
Yes,
right? Like we paid to have them turned. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
There should be enough clothes for everyone.
I don't think you have enough for all of your... So here's my understanding of the situation. You don't have enough Yeti cloaks for everyone. But the people who are on board ship, who are not... When you're on board ship, you can insulate yourselves pretty aggressively because you do not have to walk as far. Being heavily insulated reduces your ability to walk overland because you're heavily weighed down and the insulation is unwieldy. But aboard the boat, not a tremendous problem, even for those who row. And additionally, on ship, you can maintain braziers and other things to maintain sources of heat as you travel. Notable developments in town. Lady Bristleback has been expanding the provisions, as it were, available at the Bristleback Inn. She's hired a new chef who has been doing fine work. The church continues to thrive. Father Bloombad has left bed rest and continues to give thunderous speeches from the pulpit, though now he does so wearing a half mask to conceal some of the disfigurement which has been put upon him by the plague, until such time as he overcomes this curse he is grappling with. The common people regard his struggle with divine power with this unholy power as yet another sign of his holy work. It is, if anything, establishing his legitimacy rather than undermine it. Showing up to the church with visible signs of having contested with darkness seems to be improving a bit, which could be good news for certain other people who are enjoying or not enjoying certain irreparable transformations to their body, which might otherwise have harmed their reputation somewhat. No, I'm not speaking of anyone specific, certainly.
Yes, I wear very long robes these days.
Yes, it's just good because they sweep away your footsteps.
And I wear my hooves are well, what are they? Wrapped up with some sort of whatever. Who cares?
I care. I would love to hear about your farrier situation, but we'll come back to that later. They're goat hooves specifically, by the way. So
no problem.
I think cloven twice as opposed to one mono hoof, like you've got with a
horse.
Like with a horse, yes. Aside from that, the tremendous impact of winter prevents most people from doing too much travel. And as a result, there's just not that much news. Of course, there's still the steady line of gossip from coming down the row from Inchbury as they continue to grapple with the revelations of the tremendous corruption which was prevented in the church. Bit by bit, each member of their clergy has been ousted and cast down, whether guilty or not. There are simply no trusted figures there anymore, and new figures are being raised up to, and most of them are being sent to Father Bloombad to be vouched for, and so you can expect that the new style of theology and preaching in Inchbury will take a turn for the bombastic, the militant, and the intense. Ought to be quite interesting. We'll see what the consequences of that either. One moment, I'm going to see. Now, to adjust the sound in Roll20, I go into
the top right-hand corner, the settings.
Here. And if I hit master music volume level, it'll affect me and not the rest of you?
Exactly.
All right. Can the rest of you guys still hear music?
Yep.
Are we talking about in Foundry or Roll20?
Roll20. I still haven't gotten Foundry up and running yet. I need to figure out how to get all this music into Foundry.
Oh, I see. I misunderstood.
It would give you lag anyway, so I don't know.
It's probably not that hard. I just haven't gotten around to it. Anyway, I believe who is on the caller list today? Next week's caller priority is first Ross, then Magnus. Ross, are you down to be the caller tonight?
Oh crap! Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Why did I? It's because I did what I did last time, and I was like, never mind. No, I don't want to. Okay. All right. So here we are. We're in the tavern, are we? As usual. Man, how about that? Do we have... Well, Finbar isn't here.
Hang on a second. John, remember, I forgot to include the 800 GP Pearl in the experience points, so you actually should be... That'll give you at least one experience point, right?
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, I completely beansed it.
I asked about that.
And
I should have asked sooner.
Well,
there you go. No, now you have to do the level up mid-session.
Oh no, he'll have to roll one hit die. He'll be fine.
Okay,
I've never leveled up. I don't know how it works.
Let's see it. I want to see this hit die. I mean, that's pretty exciting. What level are you?
That's level 5.
Wow.
All right, at level 5, your base attack bonus is...
Does it go up? I have it right here.
I don't know.
I think it's the same. I'm looking at spells right now, otherwise I would look it up.
Okay, fighters, it stays at +2.
Next level, I think it jumps up.
Yeah.
Yep.
At level 6, it becomes a +3.
What saving throws? Is that what you said?
No. The saving throws almost always get better, but your 2-hit bonus goes from a +2 to still a +2.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I want to see this hit die.
Let's see this D8.
Okay, here we go. Come on.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
All right, good. Yeah.
What's the total?
I'm up to 30 now.
Well, somebody's going to stand in front of me. Oh, man. I noted that I'm pretty sure that the most senior member, precluding the possibility of someone's return here soon, is actually Finbar, who did not pay into the hounds, but otherwise is the most senior adventurer out of the crew, including Magnus. But apart from that,
that is not correct. Magnus is older than Finbar, Ross. I'm sorry.
Well, he was in a dungeon crawl very early on, very, very, very early on at level 1.
So was Magnus. That's how he got the Book of the Serpentine.
Okay, that I thought took place on another plane of existence, but that is fair. That did happen.
Oh, like maybe it did, but somehow he made it.
Carcosa doesn't stay in Carcosa.
Okay, that's fair. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. All right, anyways, so all right, we're here at the tavern. What are we? We're taking the Myrmidon, going to the cloister, and that's it. And we're keeping the same marching order and all the same stuff, right?
That is my understanding.
Okay, let's do it. We do that. We do that. We go to bed
Alrighty.
for the night.
All right, one sec.
We already got through the metal door. There wasn't anything else we needed to bring to push on.
We
Push.
did drill through that.
Correct.
You mean the
Yeah.
gate to that? Yeah, to the sarcophagus. That had that lady
Yep.
in a semblance of life with a calcified heart.
Yeah, I think there was still that area around the harpies that we needed to
Right.
check out a little bit more, and there was that tunnel going up to the northeast that the
Oh, my
were they
maps.
were they ghouls? I don't remember. The ghouls or whatever had retreated through.
Zlatan, can you guide us there per the typical rule once we reach our beachhead here?
Yeah, I forgot to open up all my maps. Give me a second.
Oh, AJ, you've got the Iron Cross for Ewanen, or
Owen?
what's his name? Onan. And
Yeah.
anything else you need?
I mean that should be good.
You want to use the blinding shield?
Odin's not a frontliner. He has very low hit points, so that might be better for someone else.
You give it to Morpert.
Yeah.
Morpert is not going to be in the front unless
That is true. You could give it You could give it to Perderi.
Perderi has the light shield.
Yeah, but you've got. It's not actually that much better than a regular shield.
And that shield, the shield of blinding light has a +1 bonus, which Perderi would not benefit from with the armor.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, Elspell
So-
should probably hang on to it then.
Sure.
All right, I'll try to. Okay, I think I've got this. I had the. Whatever. I have to organize this a little better. I've just got like art files just strewn around through various like sketches that I've made, and yes, separate files for the main cloister, the -1 cloister, and the -2 cloister, and then the overall map, and then the like larger cloister grounds. All like 5 separate maps. So here we go. Got it. So remind me again which part of the cloister we're going to.
The Amber Pool.
Okay.
Correct, Ross?
yes, please. Yeah. Well, yes. I think that. So there's a cavern. There's a side passage that we didn't explore.
There's tons of side passages we haven't explored.
Yeah.
It's a busy place. Before you get on the boat and sail away from this place of from your sanctuary, is there anything you want to purchase, or any supplies that you think you need to deal with any problems that are awaiting you there, which you might not have?
I wish I knew more about what options were available.
Good question.
That's my fault for not checking more. But we do
How
need
about-
holy water and oil at least. That
Yep.
keeps coming in handy.
Yep.
That's what I was gonna say.
Holy water is available at regular market prices.
Oh, did anyone remember if there is what advice we got about how to purify more of these evil frog god sanctums and altars and
The
shit?
cheap way is to have a high-level cleric show up and blast it with Dispel Evil.
And
The
that's the
more
cheap
expensive way is to, it's cheap for them. Usually they won't do it for free. But the expensive way is to just drench them in holy water.
All right, like
a
how much holy
combination-
water are we talking?
Man, it would really depend on the thing. Probably like 10 vials for a average mid-size altar.
Okay.
If it's a bigger altar, it could take more than 10.
All right. Let me. I'm just gonna write down 10, and I will figure out how much that cost me later.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Maybe I should double check that it's not gonna like completely break the bank.
Holy water is 25 GP each, so that's 250
Oh,
GP.
damn, that's not a small
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
might want to hang back on that.
All right.
Oil,
I forgot the one that I
dirt
bought
cheap.
ages ago, and I'm always like hanging back from actually using.
Things you might want.
Do you think we should invest in like a house price worth of holy water so we could just dump it on there?
Not until you know exactly what you're dumping it on,
Yeah,
honestly.
Okay, forget it.
Probably best to try to convince Bloombad that, hey, the last time you only got a little cursed.
I feel like we should let him get better first. And also, like, how much is a cleric worth? He's like, what, level 8? I think a
He's
level 8
the
cleric
only
is worth-
person for several dozen miles who can raise the dead, so he's pretty irreplaceable.
I think that he's
Yeah.
worth more than 250 GP.
I say we go. We have a lot of exploring that we can accomplish. It's a good thought though, because eventually we are going to need to at least announce some sort of order, like, hey, we want to pay a cleric to go do something, or something. Like, we're going to have to clean this place out. But for now, there's a lot of stuff we haven't seen, I think.
And I got my maps ready for...
Are you bringing any personnel with you beyond Yoanin and Lufstan? Not necessarily people who will join you in adventuring, but people who you want to use to prepare this location to be habitable.
Ooh.
I probably should have... I brought this
we
up
were-
briefly yesterday, but I don't think we came back to it yet.
Oh,
You can also just...
I thought we were going to clear this place out more before we devoted
No.
to that, because we don't have a way of keeping them safe, right?
No, Richard's right. We were talking about the outer cloister.
Yeah. There are two ways you can keep people safe.
Yeah.
One is to kill everything in the area, and the other one is to surround them with bodyguards. You could just hire soldiers.
Yeah, we should actually resolve this. I don't know mechanically what we need to do that. Organization of Kayden's Fist. The proposal was the new sanctuary, and 2 people voted for the cloister. 1 person voted for they don't have money. Finbar's out of money, and that's what it is. My thought is there's no reason you can't buy into something later. Or and it's not like we can't do more projects later. But how much money would it take, and what do we need to do to secure the outer cloister, Richard? Because we can
Known
start there
threats in
next
the
time
air-
if we do.
True. The known threats in the area, if you just stay there and you want to secure it, that's different. Because you guys yourselves are a significant deterrent force. But if you show up with like 20 soldiers and 10 laborers to render the place habitable, then yeah, that will cost you... I don't know how much the laborers cost, but... Let's see.
It's not much if it's a sanctuary.
It's not... Yeah,
If
no,
I think
it's not.
you had written 1,000, didn't you? On the
That's to properly like refactor the whole place. But if you just want to like have some guys hunker down and be there with you so that you can start there next session, let's say that'll cost you. You'll need 30 man days of. You'll need 210 man days of field rations. No, that's way too expensive. What are the costs of
Well,
rations?
let's start from our limitation and work backwards, may we?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are 2 potential buyers currently that could establish this estate in game. I have 1,000 gold. I can probably submit 800 of that because I need food, and there was something else I had to pay for.
If you spend 800 GP and spend some of that on laborers, yes, you can just make this place into a habitable outpost. That is enough. I don't know exactly what that will look like, but that is enough money.
Is this subject to our regular? We should publish these, by the way. Our regular estate progression rules.
Or like, yes, this is one of those things where if you spend money, that will count it to your new reserve XP. So that
if 800 is enough, Perderi, do you want to buy in, or is this going to be the Castle de la Morpert?
I
both.
will buy in, and I was discussing as well with Magnus, and I will cover his portion of it as well. Though there's still a lot about the exact charter that we need to kind of establish.
No, not the charter. Just
yeah.
the. I'm sorry. Just the. Just the sanctuary at the cloister.
Zolatin's got some money, but he's kind of forbidden from buying in per se.
Yeah, I imagine you just go to a fairy well and you're like, here's my 10,000 years of debt. And you just dump gold coins in there.
The way that we're handling it is that 50% of my income has to go to that.
That's
so
awesome.
It's like a tithe, but it's a lot. But after that, I've still got some cash rattling around.
Is this amenable? So it sounds like between like the two of you, three of you, that there's enough to cover the expenses of this, right? Is that correct?
The
or,
three.
Or is there
so based on who I have right here and who's responded and voted, I have it as me and you as the two interested parties. If
I'm allowed to contribute, I can chip in a little.
Ufkell wanted to pitch in.
Test. You are very generous, and I greatly appreciate that. But please let me suffer. I've come here to suffer today. I'm asking.
All right. More for me.
This is his penance.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
Ufkell is in as well. So
if
oh,
go ahead.
If the two of you have enough to cover this, and a viable alternative for the buy-in is to go to the church, I think I would prefer to do that.
No, absolutely. No problem. I love that. So, Ufkell and Morpert are our fortress that we're building. It's ours. How much you want to pitch in? You would do 500? 500 each?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, and then Richard, let us know if we need to do more, But there you go. Okay. So that I think that it's fair to say it's too late to have issued this as like a thing between adventures. We didn't tell you, so
that's fine. I've already I assumed you guys have been doing arrangements for this in the background for some time, since your characters have the advantage of existing even when you are not paying attention to them. And so they can conceivably be doing things useful that we didn't realize they were doing.
All right. So
such is the power of Morpert and Praderi that they exist even when they don't exist.
Ufkell and Morpert are establishing a fortress sanctuary at the outer cloister. All right.
Name the fortress.
Oh, I don't know the name of it. Gosh, you can't just. That's the name
Ufkell,
is very
name the
important.
fortress. We'll come back. Eventually, we'll name it.
It has to have a really cool mythical name to it. Okay. Thus, we set sail. I don't think there's anything else that we can accomplish.
How about Snillingville? Just kidding.
We'll put a pin in that. We'll put a pin.
Workshop it a little.
That was my last name, but it's okay.
Kill
We
Snillingville.
found any indications of what this place used to be called? Was it like older than names?
If it has some wild sword and sorcery name like the fortress older than names, that is what we are going. Actually, I am writing that one down. I am writing down the Michael Moorcock name. That's pretty cool.
That's
I
cool.
I was thinking something stupid like Fort Frogsbane or something.
It has a specific name, but I haven't really been using it. I like to think of it as the cloister of the eldest god. But I mean, it's not really anymore since you kind of you kind of blew up his shrine. Anyway, so
We set sail.
turn on our windy music, turn on our overland travel music. You set sail, you bust out the oars, you get to rowing. I would like Ross to roll me a 1d6 for a surprise check for a thing which happens during the first day of travel. All right.
I'm surprised.
So you are surprised, which means that a couple of your oars are launched by another gigantic giant snake. However, sorry, not giant snake, giant fish. Its tremendous beak-like mouth rising from the water and going, and then going back down again. But as it derives no nutrition from your oars, it simply swims away. If you wish to pursue, and with the hope that this one also has a gem inside, you may do so. But I can tell you straight away, It's going to be difficult because this one is not doing you the favor of breaching the surface and just sticking around in arrow range, and it is in fact leaving quite promptly.
Plus, we have fewer oars now.
It's almost
Yes,
as
sir.
if the gods rolled 2 dice together to determine its deportment.
Oh, should we try to kill it?
I'd
Nay.
leave it be. Let's go.
It's a lot of food.
These beasts always have food and treasure in their belly.
They always have treasure in their belly. Is that so?
They sometimes have treasure in their belly. I don't know about always.
How long does it take to sail to the cloister again? 1.5 days?
About
Oh.
1.5 there, 3 back.
Magnus, you can call down the fire from heaven, can't you? And just to smite this big fish. It should float to the surface.
I can attempt it.
Can you fork lightning under the waves?
You wish to attempt to stun the fish with a horrifying lightning bolt?
I do.
All right. Roll initiative, and we will see if you win.
Oh, sorry.
My bad.
It's destiny.
It's a tie. All right, so it's going to be moving pretty far afield. What's the range on lightning bolt?
Pretty good.
It's like, oh Lord, maybe 240? No, probably 120. Sorry, give me a second here.
Of course, of course.
It is in fact 240.
All right.
Well, and then
It's
that's
Another
60
60
long.
feet.
60
Yep.
feet from its starting point. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to roll a saving throw for the thing. You're going to get 1 shot to take it out. You get a bonus for cover. Its normal saving throw is for a giant fish. Oh, I should have written down its character sheet here. Oopsie doopsie.
I'm seeing another mercantile industry opportunity here.
Fishing.
Giant fish.
Oh, there are jokes to be made here. All right.
Reminds me of an old inside joke.
All right. It passes its saving throw.
Oh,
We'll see if you can take it out.
What are we doing?
I need roll damage.
Okay.
All right.
so
It's
7 damage.
I fear that it survives your onslaught and swims out of range.
We only have an opportunity for the one spell.
I'm afraid this fish is much faster than your boat, and it is now highly motivated to get as far away from you as possible.
Well, that'll show it.
It is indeed quite shown. However, the rest of your trip goes without incident, and you make it all the way to the citadel older than names. Where is the right thing? Da-da. You arrive at 2 in the afternoon. The wind is picked up and it's cut down on visibility as snow not only cascades down from above, but blows in great gusts down up from the ground below. The front gate is closed when you arrive, which is unexpected. Perhaps something has developed in your absence.
What? That's not good.
This likes me not.
Perhaps we should be more cautious.
Caution
How
is
do you
warranted.
approach?
I don't think we should be so cautious that we don't just bust open the front gate and just see what's on the other side. Well, not bust. We need it later.
Well, some obvious questions. In the snows nearby, have the snows covered over any foot tracks or movement
Yes, it would be quite difficult to see any movement in this area. If anything's gone through, the snows would have, the blowing snow would have obscured it.
Yeah, caution, yes, but we can't let something take control of this place. I'm almost more worried that what either has moved in or come up. I suggest we take an aggressive approach. Actually,
I agree.
that's one vote. I need at least two more. One more, actually. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, so long as we're not like throwing caution out the window, then yeah, just mindful that there has been activity.
Well, let's start with this. Does it look like there are any devices or anything around the door where it has been closed? Does it look as if there's anything raised underneath the snow in front of the doors?
No. As far as you can tell, there's nothing of the sort.
All right, then.
Morpert, I wonder if we should investigate to see if anything has been damaged around back, or maybe a new escape route forged somewhere.
Yeah, didn't we have another way in?
You do.
Yes, it's possible
Yep.
to go over the wall and climb in through the back. There's also a gatehouse on the back, though I think that climbing would probably be safer than trying to go through a gatehouse. But there are no windows or skylights or anything of the sort due to the airless nature of its construction.
Yeah. You should be able to breach the same way you breached last time, if you wish.
Yeah, you can basically see on the map here, there's these front entrances and those rear entrances inside the courtyard.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go up
Right.
the wall.
You breach the wall. Not particularly difficult for people of your caliber.
Escalate more than breach, but yes.
The trees here continue to be largely dead or dying, bereft of leaves, though now they are festooned with a pleasant cascade of pale snow.
Oh, hey, Richard, could you give us a space bar?
A space bar? I don't know what that means.
No, that's good. That's good. It was just like
Oh, the
it was a
pause.
big icon there.
Oh, it was paused. My bad.
No, that's fine. I just
Okay. The pond has mostly frosted over along the edges, but there is a small patch in the center which has not yet melted, through which occasionally you can see frogs swim.
frogs are
this-
swimming.
Yes.
Oh my
we were
gosh.
warned about this pond. We were not warned in a specific manner, just to stay away from it, so don't fill your canteen there or anything.
There was the statue looking down at it, right? There's a frog statue overlooking the
Yes.
pond.
From where you stand, you can see a lifelike moss-covered statue of a frog sitting on a large boulder, which feeds the pond with a steady stream of water from its mouth. Its eyes are large gemstones of moss agate, which look fancy and valuable.
Yes, we need that.
Odin will cast Detect Evil.
Oh
Yeah.
man, there's
We
some
were
evil here,
warned-
buddy.
We were warned not to touch this.
All right.
Yeah.
Perhaps 250 GP worth of holy water could result in more than 250 GP worth of gemstone, but that's just a theory.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll donate.
do you?
Well, we don't have it right now, but yeah, it was later.
I like either. Actually, if I could go back and do it over again, I'm thinking now I'm going to stop stating what things are worth because I think it's kind of cool. But would we know what it's worth, like, or would we not? I'm down. I think either's cool.
Hang on a second. I'm gonna. Do you want to spend a little time like evaluating it?
Ooh, this is the guy's going back to 3rd edition skills here. Okay, yeah,
I mean,
I
it's basically-
appraise.
yeah. Okay, you spend some time appraising it using your appraise skill, which is to say that you think back to all the similar stuff you've sold. You think these are worth between 150 and 250 GP each. Probably
Okay.
on the low end of that.
So here's the problem. To be honest, that's actually not a lot for the level that we're kind of swinging at right now.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. But
It's a task, but it doesn't need to be done right now. I think the bigger task is why are those doors closed? That's the thing that needs to be figured out right now. I propose we go in this door and see. Does it look like this door has also been tampered with?
No, this one's still. Hang on a second.
Did we ever say that
Door
we
here?
closed these doors?
It's closed now, though I can't remember if you. I don't think you ever closed it officially, but it's definitely closed now. I can't remember if you ever closed it. If it's up to you, if you guys also can't remember, then I've got great news. No one remembers.
I can't remember.
It was never stated, if I recall
I will
correctly.
tell you that if a Lofstan preemptively does a quick check with his eyes, there's no sign of tripwires or snares connected to it. None of the places where he would rig up a trap appear to have a trap rigged up. That said, if you want him to open it, he'll probably want to give it a more expansive check first.
I like the idea of getting out where we can be seen and moving faster, so Morpert will open the door.
All right. Nothing happens. Door opens.
Question. Is our plan to sweep the whole ground floor first, or to make a beeline into the underground?
Well, I something closer to the former, I think. The most important thing is the shrines and areas, to make sure that, like, somebody has come through and secured this place against seemingly the weather. And actually, it depends. The answer to your question is it depends. Why are these doors closed? That's deeply disturbing, I think. So
Okay.
If we determine why they're closed, then we could just keep going. But if we don't, we need to figure this out. What does the room look like? Has it looked like it's changed? We killed a bunch of people. Are there a bunch of dead bodies rotting on the floor?
Well, the people you killed here were largely zombies, so I can't remember what you did with the bodies. Did you do anything with them, or just leave them where they lay?
Yeah, we just left them to rot, I thought.
Did we like drag them to the side or something like that?
No, because when we entered combat here, it just started going crazy right away. Like it's just started.
Right.
We started fighting all the way into that main area.
And we had to exit at the end of the session.
And we don't think we were able to retrieve Glorpert's body. Never mind these guys.
No, you were able to retrieve
yeah.
Glorpert's body.
Well, eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
at the time? Okay,
there should be some greasy, bug-infested stains on the floor or rotted.
This place continues to be pretty awful, and
I'm sorry. The all the bodies and stuff were dragged underground. Remember, there was the trail that we followed.
Oh,
There's the drag trail that we followed.
I wasn't here for that. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for the
So
reminder. But yes,
yeah.
after when you came back the second time, the remaining bodies had been dragged away, and their new location is unclear.
Okay, this is messed. I feel like this is
apologize.
also important. This is why. Well, who did that? Okay, so all right. This place
more
has
zombies.
an ecosystem of some kind.
Yeah.
So that's good news and bad news. The good news is that you've already seen it in play and returned here. The bad news is, what is that? Is it the undead? Do you all think it's those little... Weren't there like little weird little guys that like... They were like...
Weird little guy encompasses so many of the things. I'm gonna need you to be more specific.
No, it was like...
We met a specific weird little guy.
Yes.
Rat Man? Yeah.
Like the friendly rat man.
Not
Yeah, I
the
remember
friendly rat man. I don't remember
Armed.
that either. There's a friendly
he's
guy.
armed, isn't he?
Friendly-ish.
God, I'm so
Here.
unqualified to be
Here.
the caller.
Charmed him?
I think.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you
we
did.
charmed him. Okay, so he was made friendly.
You have
More
a charmed
charmed, right?
rat man? Where's
he's
he
not
at?
a rat man. He's just a man.
They're
who
his
eats
friends.
More
likes
has
rat.
so many charmed people. It's getting hard to keep track of.
That's what you made the spreadsheet for. Use the spreadsheet.
Okay.
Write these things down.
All right, I'm sorry. Help me out
Anyway,
with a general
you're in here.
concept
This
here.
this place has not been significantly altered since the last time you guys were here. The bodies which had been dragged away mysteriously the last time you were here are still dragged away mysteriously this time. The place has not been significantly messed around, except for the doors having been shut.
All right, hypothesis. All right. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I talk about those little... I can't remember the specifics, but they were like undead, but they were small. Or they were like monsters, but they were small. We were coming in, and we had made it into an area that had coffins, and there were these little things, and we were fighting them, and then they ran away, and we chased them. You guys don't remember
I
that?
know
We
there
were
are some very-
fighting.
yeah,
ghouls.
I know the ones you're speaking of.
But-
there were some very
But they
fast
weren't, right? Because I thought they were ghouls too, but then Richard said, no, they're little, or they're smaller, or they're like really fast. They're really fast. Do you remember that?
Yes, I believe the description I gave of them was.
So, hypothesis, here it is.
Yeah.
These things,
Unnaturally thin limbs moving with dreadful speed. They
That-
attack twice per turn.
Right.
these things, or something like it, actually maintain, like, they go on beyond their life. As, you know, like this used to be maybe a normal place, and these things just go on about their business, shutting doors and moving about the place, dragging bodies. You've already seen evidence of that. I am now less alarmed. It's just this place does its weird thing, and you've already seen that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so on
The
that,
general sense of it is why I was reluctant to bring in like camping buddies. What's the right word?
yeah,
Labor.
Camp followers?
yeah, this is the outer cloister. Yeah, I would say, it's a kind of a cool Blackmoor kind of thing, because we could have a whole city here, but then the dungeon like just keeps going, and we haven't figured it out yet. That's kind of cool,
Cool
actually.
fancy
It's kind of
design.
metal. So, all right,
Very classic.
yeah, all right. Yeah, I kind
Are
of
you
like that.
continuing on?
Yes, but
All right, well-
to modify things, I propose now. I'm comfortable. Let's just keep going.
Okay, well, the situation is going to get slightly more complicated as you
Oh.
approach and enter the main altar chamber, where you may notice that there are sources of light other than your own.
That's a problem.
A few drifting, twinkling speckles of colorful light drift through the area, as though they don't strike you as it doesn't strike you as a baleful light of the underworld, or an insidious, unholy radiance. Rather, it strikes you as almost playful.
Oh no, I don't like that.
Are these like the will-o-wisps we fought before?
No, I would categorize that under baleful light of the underworld.
Okay.
Character wasn't
Especially
used
for
to
those of you who have had direct awful experiences with them. That's not a radiance you will soon forget.
Perdaria
They're very fast.
barely made it out of that one.
Oh yes.
Okay.
that. Does it remind us of anything we might have seen in Yin?
Yeah,
good
sort
question.
of. It feels. No, Yin light tends to use combustible gases, or luminous gases. This feels more fey.
Magnus, are you a master of language and written word and such? Do you know any strange languages? Perhaps these things are from beyond, or maybe they have a wheel.
I mean, so they're just lights flying around, or
Very small, like fireflies.
Come to think of it, our
Gradually shifting in color. Small dancing lights.
Zlatan probably speaks Yinian as well.
He does.
yeah? Well, I'll have a close look. You know, has anyone looked real close yet, or
No.
are they
Ufkell, do you still have
figures?
that? Do you still have that blue light lantern thing that we took from here?
We do.
One around my neck.
Do they react to those at all?
The luminous lantern? No, it does not.
Okay, never mind.
Well,
sorry for interrupting.
They surely see
Magnus.
us, so we
That's
might
a
as well
good
say
question.
hi. Hello. And I just try hello in various languages I know. Let's see what do I know. I know the so I know the common Albion language. I know liturgic. I know the serpent tongue. And I know the tongue of the fairy land of Yin. And I probably know two. I think we established I know like two more human languages that aren't relevant here.
Alright, I need to send Ross a private message real quick to check with something. So, time for spooky.
Who we lose? We lost Ufkell.
Ufkell! He's back.
Okay.
I meant to turn off my mic. Sorry.
Whoops.
I'm in there.
I've done that before too.
Whoop.
So the reason to get Richard one of the kind of mic that I use because it's got a very easy hardware turn on and off.
All right. When you call out in Union, you hear a shape fluttering above you, and look up to see in the rafters a owl, which looks at you nervously.
Hello to you.
An owl?
An owl.
Your mic is filtering out your owl coos that I can hear IRL.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It really is.
All right. Let me turn off my... Whatever. I make some... The owl is pale and white. Looks like a barn owl. It flaps its way down to a lower rafter. And then, with a blur, like heat hazing off of a campfire, it shimmers into a new shape, which is that of a tiny, pale man with insect wings perched atop the rafter. It looks down at you. Who are you who speaks the tongue?
I'm named Zolatin. These are my companions.
Are you in human
You're,
form or serpent form?
I'm in serpent form.
Okay.
I wouldn't have thought that far ahead.
It's fair. Are you the Hounds of the Pine? I've heard legends of you.
We're affiliated with them. We are Kayden's Fist.
I don't know them.
We're associated with with them through Kayden's Rest, which is a town many miles to the west of here. We came here over the sea.
Didn't Perderi, did you pay? You didn't pay into it. Never mind. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, okay.
I was still too new.
Can you help me get home?
Depends on where home is. I don't know where your home is.
I don't know if I can trust you with its location.
This does
Mag-
complicate matters. Are you
Magnus, so you know, out of character, Magnus, this is definitely the same sort of fairy as you saw at the Grove of the Fathine.
It's a
It's possible they don't recognize you.
Or Fathine, yeah.
I will put on my circlet that I won at the. It's drained of its power now, but I will put it on and present myself as the winner of the flower slapping contest.
I remember you now. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you. It sort of looks abashed.
Yes, I'm usually too modest to wear this outside, you understand.
It flaps a little closer still, and so it's perched directly above you. If you can help me get back home to the Fathine, I can promise you a great reward. I went hunting to find I was sent out on a quest, but I failed, and now I can't make my way home. The Mossmen are hunting me.
Is that the area where the festival took place last year?
Yes. If you've been there already, then you know the way.
I love you.
Good night. Mike is live.
I don't know how to make the. I can reposition this thing to make myself look bigger, but I can't reposition it to make myself look smaller. I guess.
Well, I'll quickly explain what that means. It means the trek out of here to the area just to the south of the bridge, if I remember correctly. They're the fairy fairgrounds, I'll call it.
They have a grove.
With the entrance to Yin that we discovered briefly on our sea travel here be of use? I mean, it's not visible anymore, but it's possible it could be resummoned.
Likely not. What you know is that although the fairies stem from Yin, and the fairies came from Yin, they came from Yin in kind of the same way you did. They're native to this world.
They came through Yin.
Yes. But the things that are of Yin, no one trucks with those.
Right. I too am wary.
Yes.
So you all share all this with us, I assume?
100%.
Well, most of this conversation, the conversation is largely happening in front of you. And also, I should clarify, they are speaking in human tongue. It's just once you spoke Yinyan, that caught their attention.
Perduri, what do you think?
How many days travel is that? I'm definitely for it. I think we have work here. A quest was mentioned, an incomplete quest.
Could we be of assistance in
failed
completing your
quest?
quest, or is it
Yeah.
just a done deal?
Not unless you can find me a great warrior who can strike down a terrible enemy.
How terrible?
Well, the last batch didn't do it.
Oh,
They got the hounds with the pine fought it. They all almost died. It was frightening.
Oh dear, that thing.
That thing?
what
Are you
thing?
speaking of the gigantic aggregated blob creature that we fought at the festival?
Almost certainly. Let me verify the name of the thing.
That we had to beg your king for a boon, not to be all killed by it?
Ah, yes. The Bone Dancer. That's the one.
Bone dancer. I don't like the sound of that.
It was not pleasant. Nearly was the end of us.
Even Magnus's power and the might of these legendary heroes couldn't fail it. What hope have we?
Then
Has it
again,
gone on-
I did not have the ability to summon lightning last time we faced it.
Oh, is that so?
It is
Has
so.
it gone rampaging? Oh, what is its threat? Is it a new behavior of this thing?
Give me just a moment to make sure I have the appropriate answer here, because I do not want to oopsie-doopsie this one. I remember. One moment, I have to check something important.
While you do that, there's much we could discuss. Ufkell, you think you may actually want to try to fight this monster, or?
Now, I've heard of this festival, but I need details. What happened? What was it like?
It was exceeding strange, but nonetheless, this is of no matter. We are not obligated to kill this thing. It's a mere fancy.
Was it done as a whim? The original duel, the contest of arms with it? Under what circumstances did the hounds fight it? Part of the festival?
We'd hoped that they'd be able to get rid of it. It comes and plagues us sometimes, driving us away from our homes and sometimes laying us low. It cannot fly as we can, but there is no place we can set down where we can set our heads to rest with full confidence that it will not come to assail us. I had heard of a legend to the east of a great beast which was its match, but I couldn't. I couldn't sway it, despite my best efforts. It was too big, too strong, too primordial. I was lucky to escape with my life. Yes, the big frog. We were hoping that we could lure it to come eat the Bone Dancer, but no. It almost ate
You could
me.
swing it. Yeah.
Not a bad idea. And then slay the survivor.
Such was the hope. But my enchantments were not strong enough to bring it to bear, and so I was forced to return home, helpless and without success. But then I became lost and spent many weeks alone in the swamp and darkness in the winter days.
Well,
Fortunate not to perish.
I found this place with the door ajar and took shelter here. There was
This
a
is
terrible
the-
smell here. It was a place of evil, but it was a place where I could hide.
Did you perchance close the front door?
Yes, it was hard. I had to use my The door is very big, and I'm very small.
Well done,
You
well
chose a
done.
You chose a very dangerous place, though. We've been attempting to sanctify it, but it's been slow, dangerous work.
Every place is dangerous in this part of the world. The swamps are full of evil, and the frogs see me and think of me as a fly which they hope to catch with their tongue.
So
Would you? Yes.
it seems to me here, either way, the bottom line is he must get home first. That's the first step. Whether we either we choose not to help at all, or we help him get home, and then we can consider our options from there. That
You also
Well,
don't
I-
have to get him home immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna-
Yeah.
have him tag along.
Yeah, I was going to ask him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry if this beast is nearby. Yeah, I suppose that's another matter.
Which one? The gigantic frog thing or the gigantic bone thing?
The
bone
gigantic
cancer.
bone thing. Yeah.
Bone thing's far.
Oh, then he
Don't worry
should
about
go
it.
home first.
Yeah. Unless we want to just keep him at Kayden's Rest for what could potentially be months. I think it'd probably make more sense to send him home.
Well, you're already fortifying the area. You could just
Oh.
be here for a bit.
We should definitely listen. It's a good idea to do favors for fairies.
Yes.
This is a should be a basic truism for all who adventure in these strange lands.
Well, then let's ask his opinion. We could offer him some options and see what he prefers. Though he would not have all the information about what Kayden's Rest is like and with which to make it. So, but we could at least offer to help fortify this area versus trying to venture south.
Is he really small?
He's about 12 feet. He's about 12 inches tall.
Okay.
He's itty bitty.
I think another important question is, this is more of a Father Chris question. Were you ready to, based on a year-old mapping, are you prepared to bring out a map and try to guide us there?
It's southeast, like I think. I mean, he'll be with us.
Is it along the old coast road?
Let me check the map real quick. I don't think it is.
This part of the overworld map is.
No, don't
really
tell me,
needs a
Richard. I
refresh.
want to suffer. I have to lose.
Well, we could get
I know.
we could get some advice from him. He made the journey.
Yeah, no, totally. Yes, that's true.
That too, but
Except
also
he doesn't
for-
know where it is. He's lost. That's the
For-
whole.
Well, if we get back close to it, I know if we go south, if we go east to the almost all the way to the pretty much to the bridge, and then just turn south, we will be in the approximate vicinity. But also for tonight, my vote would definitely be to keep exploring these halls first. I mean, we're here, and we're talking about a couple of days more of overland travel to get there.
On this weather, it could be quite a long trip.
Indeed.
Agreed.
Well,
It's rough weather.
I guess we'll have to give him the proposal.
To be clear, out of character, if you guys don't go back him up right now, you're not derailing my GM life. I have an entire prepared dungeon for you here today. I can also handle this other thing. All sorts of stuff can happen. Follow your heart.
I aim to derail, my friend. That was no concern of mine, except that the mechanics, though. So just to be clear, you said that essentially we had issued our order in town, and we can expect reinforcements to arrive with the workers with our 1,000 gold and begin preparing a sanctuary that is operable here.
I kind of assumed they're coming. They came with you, and they're like just behind. They're like maybe 10 minutes behind you.
Oh, well, that's fine. Okay, if that's the case, then yeah, I see what everybody's saying about the proposal. So yeah.
Yeah. Very well. We will convey our thoughts to him about how we would really like nothing more than to try to bring him home as quickly as possible. But in this weather and without a firm idea of exactly what route to take, it might make more sense to hunker down here a little longer. And we explained to him that just behind us are more friends of ours who will be seeking to make this place safe for humans. And if he considers that safe for him as well, then he is welcome to stay as our guest.
He thinks about that for a moment, glancing towards the door and wringing his hands, obviously anxious at the thought of trying to travel even further in this weather, and then finally asks a follow-up question. Will they be bringing warmth? Because it's cold in here.
Most certainly.
Yes.
Then I shall stay. He does a little twist and spin and transforms into a fat little raccoon.
All right. We will make sure to convey to our underlings that this raccoon is not to be harmed.
Nice.
Alrighty. That's probably an important concern since, you know...
He can sleep
Fat.
in my large sack if he wishes.
Oh yeah.
He's not going in. He would
There it goes
prefer not
again.
to go into the darkness of the underworld with you. But he does appreciate the offer.
Oh, he's one of those Japanese spirits.
Yes. Well, you know, a fat raccoon. If you have the ability to shapeshift, why wouldn't you be a fat raccoon?
Yeah.
Tanuki.
Rakukuni.
All right.
Does he have a name?
Klidna.
No, I can't pronounce that. It's like Jim now.
Klidna is not that hard to pronounce. Come on,
Wait,
man.
Okay.
Perfectly
Morpert.
terminal name.
Klidna.
Klidna.
There's no way I'm spelling it right, but yeah, Klidna.
Just add some extra vowels.
Clidna. Anyway, you wanted to go to the Amber
I
Pool.
was right the first time.
At this point, yeah, Test, Zolatan, can you guide us to the pool?
Sure. Here we go. Okay.
All right.
All my
Recites
papers
the
just
passage.
shuffling all around. Okay, so we are in the main entrance. We can go up and to the right to that straight staircase that goes down to the west.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, that brings us there, and then that will bring us to just north of the second hidden church-like structure.
Mhm.
Although the P is facing the frog statue. Yeah, this is the under church. So we will climb up those short stairs up to the frog statue, which is there, where there will be.
The dead bodies you left here are still here. Nothing. Actually, no, they're not here. They've been dragged away to the north.
Oh my gosh. To the north. Well, we're gonna ignore that, right? Okay, assuming we're gonna ignore that. If we ignore that, then there's a lever at the back of the frog statue. We do not push it up because up makes a poison cloud happen. We push it down instead to open up the secret door.
Keep going.
The secret door leads us to there's a fork. There's a fork there. We will take a right. We will pass south, past a bunch of coffins. We will keep going to the east of there to where there's a long hallway. At the north side of the hallway, there's a statue. We will take a right at the statue and go south. All the way south, all the way down the stairs, down to level 2. Or rather, level -2. Then we will take a right. We will open up into a door, a chamber ahead of us where there's the dais, where there used to be a slime and there is no longer. We will go north of there by taking a right. We will then take the next left. And then we will take the next right to where there was a weak-looking brick wall, which we have smashed through, and then we should be there.
Correct, I think. At any rate, here you are. And that took you about 20 minutes, so it should be about now 2:40.
Yeah, this is the kind of the wrong chamber that we're looking at.
I'll have that. Ports you into the right location. And you all see the thing.
It's
Yes.
loading for me, but now I
Yeah,
see
we'll
it.
take it.
The Amber Pool.
Hang on a second. Preload.
Yeah, there's also a lot of individual tokens that are still in the chamber
Yes.
with the coffins. That doesn't narrow it down. The chamber with the most important coffin.
Yes, I know the one with the Chalcedony heart.
Yes, Chalcedony.
Oh,
One of the more fun gem names to say. What can you see?
Lapis lazuli.
Also fun to say.
True.
You can see that beyond your torchlight, the passage extends to the north, and there is a chamber extending to the east. Where do you wish to go?
we're in the Amber Pool, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. A couple of things about this area real fast. These stone statues, do they look unique and lifelike, or are they generic and symbolic or stylized?
They look symbolic and stylized.
Okay.
The real question I hear you asking is, do these look like these are people who have been petrified?
I'm
And
sorry.
the
Yeah,
answer
that's
is
a better
no.
question. Yeah.
No, that's
I think they're too big for
the
that.
answer.
Then
So they're much too large for start. The smallest is 10 feet tall, and the largest is 18 feet tall. And one of them is a fanciful figure of a 6-armed human pointing to the east. This guy here.
right, and that was going to be my question of the group, y'all. Why do you think he's pointing to the east, and why is that stuff destroyed in front of it?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Okay.
That will require more investigation. I do want to point out real quick though that this
That
area
looks like a
up
harpy.
here,
I was also about to suggest we just
Yeah.
check there, make sure there's nothing else there. Just check it.
we didn't look up there last time. We've like avoided that entire northern part.
we
Both
didn't have
times
time.
we've been here.
All right, maybe we should go to the west around the pool and let's look at these statues as we go and let's make sure that there's no possibility that they could have any kind of mechanism. We'll wave something in front of them. We'll make sure that there's nothing directly in front of them, like a raised portion of earth. Nothing weird, not even close. If it's close at all, if there's anything, then we need to stop.
And as always,
You want
we're
to
very
spend a
careful
turn
not to
examining
touch.
the area? Do you want to spend a turn examining the statues around this area and verifying that they contain no dangers?
Oh, yes.
I vote yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You do this. The statues are carefully examined by the party with all appropriate precautions taken and some inappropriate precautions just to sweeten the pot. You determine that the statues appear to be simple stone containing no mechanisms within them, and as best as Magnus can tell, they have no subtle and hidden inscriptions which might be used to ground an enchantment full of malice. Instead, the only danger in this room, and the one which is most potent, is the amber pool itself, which appears to be a ever-present hazard of, well, if you fall into it, it looks like it will certainly kill you and eat you. Because, as you may remember, a couple of the harpies fell in it, and you can see absolutely no residue of them whatsoever.
Magnus, do you want any of this amber liquid in a metal flask? I don't have all metal flasks, never mind, unless someone else does. Sorry, it's actually
That would've been a
leather.
good idea. Yeah.
Something to acquire for next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's make our way to the top here and make sure that that area to the north is, once it's cast in the light, let's take a look at it.
All right.
One question, Richard. This amber pool, does it look to be fully contained, or does it look like it's sourced from like a spring or some sort?
That's a good question.
It appears to be fully contained. Its source is unclear.
And there's no movement or anything. There's no, yeah.
I
It's
imagine
not
some
fed.
of its source is that it converts whatever falls into it.
Yeah.
Is there any evidence of dragged bodies approaching it?
A few. Actually, I see what you're implying. Does it look like the bodies from above have been dragged here and disposed here? The answer to that is no.
Yeah.
You don't see any evidence disproving that hypothesis, but you don't see any evidence in favor of it either.
Okay.
What pace do you want to take? An extremely conservative dungeon pace of about 60 to 90 feet per 10 minutes. A cautious short walk pace, or just
The listed pace for a cautious pace required for mapping, so that Zolotin can map. Yeah.
all right.
Which I think is
Peek
the
up
slower
here and
one.
make sure. I think
Yes.
this is just
Nice
a
and
cul-de-sac. We want to check.
It is
Oh,
not.
was it?
You advance, and you see that the path continues to the northeast.
Oh my.
You
Okay.
wish to follow this path?
We have two paths now.
We know the ghouls that ran in here. They went to the central eastern one.
Oh,
correct?
really?
The ghouls
believe.
mulched.
It returned.
Yeah, they returned. They darted through. One of the harpies killed one of them.
Oh.
Or finished off one of them.
Yeah, I assume that the harpies got all of them, which is the reason why I was concerned about fighting the harpies.
No,
Is that not true?
they ran through much too quickly for the harpies to deal with.
I misunderstood.
Only one was killed by the harpies. The others passed to the east of this location.
Eventually, we ought to explore both, but I actually am going to propose this eastern path for that reason. Sorry, go ahead, Magnus.
No, sorry, I'm back. I departed.
The reason isn't to try to hunt down these monsters so much as it is that if the monsters are going in a certain area, that means that's where treasure is, and things of interest will be.
I fear the statue with the 6 arms. It's pointing at the rubble. Should we test it or examine
yeah.
it closer?
I think you're
You
right.
examined the 6-armed statue pretty extensively over the course of those 10
Okay.
minutes you spent examining the area. It, like the other statues, has no obvious or inobvious mechanisms by which it could do wrath against you. It has no joints by which it could animate, and it contains no subtle runes by which an enchantment might be grounded in it.
And
You're pretty confident it's just a
I toss a
statue.
rock in front of it.
You also did something like that. As far as you can tell, the statue is safe.
And
Uh,
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say 2 things. One, is this the only statue that is facing away? And second
Yes.
thing, are we able to examine the rubble here and determine what that is?
Yes. The rubble that you see there, and we'll move into position to look at better. This is a harpy midden. It's got a lot of like bones and shells and stuff.
Okay.
Stuff that they decided not to throw into the pool itself. There's nothing here of significance.
And the
Don't worry about it.
statue points up and off into the distance, like that way, like it points
Yeah,
like
it points
that.
over this way.
Okay. All right. I say we go, actually, because I actually think that's going to have both danger and reward, which is what we're here for.
All right.
If anybody
Knock All right. Do you guys advance into the dark?
Sure.
All right.
Yep. 4
Knock
ranks.
1 turn off the turn counter.
With Gold Spear lighting the way.
You pass forward into another large chamber. It appears to be, aside from being a underground cavern and faint smell of rot and mold, mostly nondescript. You can see the passage extends further to the east, to the edge of your vision.
All right, let's keep going.
Knock another turn off the counter. You enter a much larger chamber, which extends farther than your lantern can light. However, there is an additional subtle light to the northeast, which I need to adjust slightly. Okay. To the northeast, you can see a dim glow
Okay.
in the on the northern wall.
Okay.
You can't see anything clearly at this range.
Does it look like it's moving?
No.
Okay.
It looks absolutely still.
I suggest we get closer to within 60 or 30 to 60 feet.
Okay.
60 feet is within longbow range.
Any objections? Sounds like
Nothing.
no.
And within
And
lantern
closer.
light range.
As you approach, you see another passage opening up that leads to the northwest of this chamber. From here, you can see that the light coming from the northeast, that the light coming from this area, is extending from within subtle fissures digging into the northern wall, as though there are some soft bioluminescence radiating from within.
Okay. Does that remind you all of anything other than the mushrooms?
Mushrooms, and that's really it that makes sense. If it's bioluminescent, I mean, my first thought was, I'm glad that we don't have a Geiger counter.
It's green, not blue.
Green, yes. It's not the same light as the magic lanterns you found. And it doesn't quite remind you of the bioluminescent mushrooms you've seen either. You're not completely certain of the source of light. Whatever it is, it's coming from within cracks in the wall that you cannot see into from this angle.
Okay,
Do we want to work around it, or do we want to go up to it?
Yeah, here's my proposal, and then you all tell me what you think. So the left passage, it's possible that at some point it'll loop back.
That seems likely.
I think, sometimes I see people say, well, let's go ahead and close that off. I actually think we shouldn't. I actually think, and the reason is we'll end up doubling back if we do, and then we're more likely to encounter monsters and run out of time and resources. We're people. Straight ahead here is what I would propose, and I actually think we ought to go look at that, because if we can figure out what that is, we'll be able to figure out what threat is coming up, and if we can get some sense of what that is. If we could just figure it out.
Going east first.
Should we see what's on the right-hand side and just see the extent of the walls so we don't get taken by surprise? Because that's a definite wall up to the north.
Yeah, and what does the ceiling look like?
The ceiling is tall. It's not heavily stalagmited. This place doesn't look old enough for that. This place looks like it was actually excavated at one point.
Oh, wow.
And eventually settled into a stable position.
Okay. We should start by going right here then.
Okay. You move inward a bit to get a better view. You can see something significant. In addition to the north, you can see that the light is definitely emanating from cracks deep in the wall. And there's something in the wall, embedded far within it, that the cracks lead to, which is emanating the light. To the southeast, you can see a proper, mortared stone construction, within which there is large mounds of crushed stone filling the chamber.
Wow. When you
What's
say
within is unclear at this point.
Okay, we don't know yet. Okay, at this point I suggest we try to ascertain what that green stuff is, if we can pull it off. Maybe we should try to think about how to be cautious. What about maybe not everyone goes up to it? Maybe, I don't know what else. We used to tie a rope off and send somebody up.
Yeah. Perderi can stay close to whoever moves forward to try to ward them.
That would be good.
Okay. So Perderi's going forward. Who else is?
Let's just tie him off and send Perderi up for now, just to make sure that,
Mm-hmm.
Deploy the boy.
He will cover his mouth and nose.
All right.
You want Leofston, a thief, with you?
He has keen eyes, so it wouldn't hurt.
All right. Forward you go.
My 10-foot pole was dissolved by the pool, so...
You had your chance to buy a new one.
Yep.
You approach and get a better look at what you see.
Do you
The
all...
fissures in the north...
Sorry,
Say again?
before we roll initiative, do you all have any excess magic weapons?
Actually, while you guys hassle this out, I have to nip off to the restroom myself, so please handle your inventory matters. I'll be right back.
Weapons? I don't think so.
As far as excess, there,
Wait, you handed me a dagger or something, right?
yes, you have Scalebreaker. It's a +1 dagger.
Not the thief, but the new guy. The thief's dead.
Yeah, I mean, it passed over. I think it's actually annotated as... I think I already updated the held by for that.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Just in case.
Scalebreaker,
We're at a
Morpert,
point
yeah.
where it's a good idea, in my opinion, to have a magic weapon ready.
Probably.
Okay.
Perderi's got one though.
It's called Scalebreaker?
Scalebreaker, yes.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I will take that gladly. Thank you. That's all. So
Did
Um,
anything happen to the Horn of Valhalla, or do we still have that?
We still have that.
Okay, just checking. I was just checking
I
my notes,
think-
and that's like the only magic item I've like had my metaphorical hands on.
Yeah, I think it's still annotated as being on you. Let me verify.
I haven't looked at that sheet, but whoever's quartermastering that, I appreciate that, AJ. When my character dies, I tend not to assume that they're going to be bestowed magic weapons. But if I find one, I'm like, no, this is his cool, Scalebreaker. I name
Yeah.
it and everything.
My notes say I handed the Horn of Valhalla off to Glorpert, and then
Glorpert used or had it for that one because he had no better. You were casting magic, and he had no better things.
Did
to
it transfer
do.
back to me?
It's back at you. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I will write that down.
Will, what has
Yeah.
been determined?
And I didn't ask before we departed, so I won't assume if anything is not actively carried. I won't assume that we have any weapons that are in the armory. So
The only other magic weapon I see is the Sarasek sword, the two-handed sword.
which if
That
no
is
one
currently not being used.
okay, I
You can
won't.
swing that one.
Well, I didn't say it, so I'm not going to put it down. I will though. I'll put it next time. I'll say,
Someone's
hey,
got it.
yeah, I'll put in. Well, I mean, Richard asked, hey, do you guys want to do anything before you leave? No. So
That's true.
okay.
I didn't know that.
Here
meant
I am
just
without my
don't bring
magic
our
sword.
weapons.
Well, I literally. Anyways, okay. So here we are in the death pit without this magic sword, and
We'll see what sort of horrifying consequences unfurl. But
so
maybe
Perderi
that's
goes
something-
forward, and he's tied to a rope, and so what does Perderi see?
all right. So there are cracks. Perderi, here is what you see. There are large vertical cracks in the wall, as though something within expanded outwards. And from within those cracks, there is a steady, faint green light, like the color of, almost the color of a firefly, but a bit deeper, a bit richer, more like, more like a holly bush in terms of its color. Do you wish to peer directly into the crack?
Well, when you put it like that, no. I mean, the first thing I was thinking of,
Phrasing.
even as walking up to this was see what it does to a ration. So I'm gonna pull out one of my dried rations and just kind of get it in there.
You here's what you learn. Nothing obviously happens. This indicates that this radiance does not, for example, cause organic matter to curdle and mutate. Neither is it a phosphorescent lure of something which is waiting for something to come close so it can eat it. Instead, your rations fly into the narrow crack and platter to the bottom, and nothing more unfurls.
Knowing that Leifson is here and totally has my back, he will
You can do it, boss. Go get him.
He'll uncover his nose, and what does it smell like? Anything?
No,
Hmm.
it smells exactly like the rest of this place.
What would have expanded? That's the question. Magnus, is this any kind of phenomenon that would some spell cause this? What would cause something to actually expand the rocks like a pig's bladder like this?
Is there anything different in their consistency, or are they still just rock?
Just stone, as far as you can tell. Whatever unusual thing is happening within the crevices, not outside.
Has anyone in
Yes.
cast
some sort of
Detect Evil
magic.
yet?
Detect Evil is going, yeah.
Strong evil, strong magic and evil
From this wall,
from within,
Hmm.
from
the
from
crack.
behind the wall, through the cracks.
Perderi will take a step back. He's still probably the best candidate, if only because his armor.
Mhm.
Does it seem to be reacting to the aura at all?
The
Objection.
The glow or whatever is within
is
the
the
cracks?
glow reacting to the aura of your armor? No.
No.
Neither is your armor reacting to the glow of the light.
We're at a point now where we know what's going on. There is some sort of evil magic on the other side of this.
Mhm.
If we tamper with it at this point, we risk alerting something.
Yeah.
Which we could, but that's the next step.
In fairness,
much-
so far
how-
you haven't even looked at it. So it could
Yeah.
How much holy water did we bring?
I just brought my one vial.
Perderi will look at it.
Okay, you look into it. Within it, the first thing you spy is a skeletal face. Just a sliver of it peeking through the crack. And a moment later, you recognize that this skeletal body is completely embedded in a faintly luminous cyst of green glass, which so there are a large slab of green glassy material within which is a dark skeletal figure contorted within it. Do you look into the other crevices as well?
No.
Okay,
Perdari steps back from the wall, making sure that Leosin does too.
you do so.
Share what he saw with the group. He is content to avoid the wall if we have other things we wish to do.
Actually, I'm going to throw this wild thing out there. I think that we don't want to do this right now, but if it looks like we can shatter that rock and get that cyst out and bring it back, that would be awesome.
You're pretty sure you could. Like, Ufkell is a mason, as has proven quite relevant, actually. He is confident that with a little time, with a day or two of labor, he and a few other men could lever all the stone away from whatever glassy cyst has encompassed these things. And after that, whether you could move them or not would only depend on how heavy they are.
Magnus,
What effect
do you think you could keep this safe or contain whatever this is?
Magnus, I'm going to level with you. You don't know what this is. This is weird.
Not until I've studied it much further.
It could be
What
quite...
effect would lightning?
Ufkell, his lightning is not, I think, an option for all concerns and challenges we face, though it
What
is for
happens
many.
to a frog when it's struck by lightning? Same thing
Oh.
as everything else.
It seems to work on everything. Lightning it.
I don't think he should lightning it until we know what it is. Maybe we
Yeah,
don't. Maybe we don't want to break it open.
I hate to say this, but we cannot take the chance of even leaving it here. I think when we head back, we must shatter this stone and bring people down here. And Magnus must, if you have the time, Magnus, you should devote your time at once to identifying it without delay.
I think it does make sense to build a camp down here and just have a long-term research project, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Should we peek in one more crack? Just one more.
I'll do it. I'll peek in.
More skeleton.
No, the acid doesn't do anything to the stone, right? No, it doesn't. Never mind.
Generally, no.
I don't think we should try to destroy it until we know what we would accomplish doing so.
I mean, clearly this is the evil and the cruel magical works of whatever happened here long ago. We saw what happened with the woman when we set her free. So, but anyways, I suggest we actually shatter this stone with workers within the day, and bring it up, and within the next day, Magnus knows what it is. Light willing.
Workers are going to be reluctant to come down here on the condition, given that it is still, to the best of your knowledge, not cleared. If you wish to bring down workers, you'll need to explore more of the area, and either determine all the entrances and exits, and either empty the place out, or block off any remaining entrances and exits, so that they can be confident that no monsters will wander out to come and get them.
I say
We must
check
push
this out.
further.
Yeah.
Okay. Towards this area?
Yeah.
All right. You advance into this rubble-filled hall. You cannot clearly see too much of this hall, as large mounds of crushed stone fill the chamber. The space has been filled in so thoroughly that it looks like crawling through would not be straightforward, not on your bulky equipment. Traversing this space would take time. If you wish to see what's on the other side, that would consume a turn, and you suspect it would be noisy enough that other people might hear you coming.
Could I float ahead on my own to peek around?
Actually, yeah, because you're wiggly and narrow, you could do that.
All right.
I'm hoisted by my own petard.
Is detect evil pulling anything? There's rocks. I understand that probably blocks much of it, but is there anything pinging?
No intense darkness coming through from this area. It's certainly significantly less so than the weird things to the north. Zoltan, do you wish to wiggle forward and check it out?
Yes.
All right, Zoltan wiggles his way through.
Boldly wiggling.
All right, Zoltan wiggles his way back for a light source. Who's giving him a light source?
I've got one of those green lanterns around my neck.
All right, 1 sec then. Right.
Appropriately
Zoltan-
sickly green.
Zoltan wiggles through and sees that at the other end there's a passage to the south.
I say we go. Take our time and go.
All right.
It may be hard to get out. That's the downside.
Mm-hmm.
Well, either way, we'll need to kind of clear a bit of a path, which would make leaving a little quicker than entering.
Is
I
that just
agree.
decor for the eye candy, or is that like a thick spider web?
Uh,
I'm more concerned about the
This
rubble.
thing.
It's a spider web, but it's not like a gigantic glutinous spider web of the sort that indicates gigantic spiders.
Okay.
Regular sized spider web with regular sized flies in it. Do you wish to spend some time like clearing it out this area for a more rapid evacuation? That'll take a great deal of time.
How great?
Probably an hour.
I think
What'd
that's
you
worth an
say,
hour.
Magnus?
I actually now think
I-
we shouldn't, in fact. I actually think we should
Oh.
go back around if it's going to take an hour.
I
But-
think it's worth it for the future.
Okay.
But
Fair
that's
enough,
my
actually.
final argument.
No,
I don't
that's a
wanna
good point. Yeah, let's... Who else, does anybody else not want to do it? Does anybody have any thinking on that?
Do we post a guard at the choke point just to make sure nothing doesn't come from the northwest?
Wolfstan will be happy to be lookout and spare himself hard physical labor.
All right.
Magnus will participate in the hard physical labor.
Oh yeah, you've
So
got big
strong.
muscles.
Perderi will assist as well.
Alrighty.
It might make sense for Zoltan to kind of keep watch on the path up ahead, since he's not as good at moving rocks and can
Alright.
escape a little easier.
My paranoia says we could trigger a collapse and you could be stuck.
Ufkell and
we'll have to do
Lovestone love working with the rocks.
Don't move any load-bearing rocks. I
Rocks-
thought this is.
You guys spend some time working on it. Lofstan's doing lookout work, right?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Give me a hear sounds check from Lofstan, which I believe he succeeds on a 4 and 6. All right. Lofstan 100% hears this coming.
Uh-oh.
Lofstan hears a big figure approaching from down this hallway. Big footsteps. Clump, clump, clump. What's Lofstan do?
Psst. To my friends.
Let's stop and turn around and gather our weapons.
Right.
I will try to notice all this and then float back to be part of the fight.
I say that we douse our lights, actually, and quiet down and wait among the rubble.
Okay. I will close my lantern.
Right. You guys turn your lights off.
I use my dark vision.
You have that?
Just joking. Can I roll my?
You've got
Can
a
I roll
magic
my?
eye.
Can I roll my eyeball down there?
Sure. Does your eye have dark vision?
I don't know.
I didn't make the eye, so I don't know either.
No,
Roll a
I think-
D100. Just roll it.
it just turns into a big, nasty, bulbous glass eye, and you can roll it, that's all. And then you can pop it back into your head telepathically.
Give me a hide and shadows check for Lofstan.
I mean, there is light. There is light out there.
That's a good point.
Ooh, yeah. Lofstan is absolutely hidden. As
Wow.
a great brutish figure tromps down the hall. It is a tremendous ogre. You've seen his like before, with the tiny beady eyes and the immense face.
Let's kill this thing.
Muscular and tall.
If
Kill
there's just
it.
one, I think we can kill
Hunchbacked
it.
and brutish. It's nosing around curiously, wiping some rotten ichor from its mouth.
Yeah, if there's just one, I vote we kill
You're
it.
gonna go try and jump it?
Now we're in the dark, so we're firing at -4, I think.
But what if Leofstan takes this opportunity to be an absolute hero
He could backstab.
Yes.
in the dark?
Wait, how?
All right.
Where exactly is it located right now? Because
let
if
me
it's
see what you guys
because there
can
is
see.
a light source.
It is.
It's
There
right
is
here.
dim
that's
light.
that's
There
that
is.
I had fun getting that image.
quite an image.
See anything?
Oh, I'm intimidated.
Dragon, select that area.
Oh. Yeah, now I see it.
Yeah, I had fun making that.
Nasty.
But it is close to the light. Like it might be dim, but it's lit.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Would
you can
even be
take a shot at
silhouetted.
it from the darkness.
But also, like, oh man. I mean, I'm intimidated.
Okay, with it in the light, I mean, I think we can fire it without penalty, can't we? So we should have Leofstan sneak up, stab the thing, and fire everything we have at it.
Wouldn't that also maybe hit him?
I'm behind the. Am I behind the ogre?
There's rules actually about if it's a larger enemy, or am I missing
Yeah,
this?
it means that it's less likely for us to hit him, but we still might hit him. It means we'd have like a 1 in 5 chance of hitting him.
Oh.
Wolfstein can also just shoot it, and if it can't see him at all, and doesn't know it's getting shot at, I think that still counts as a backstab.
No,
double
it has
check
to be a
that.
melee attack.
Oof.
I vote we prioritize Leofstan not getting squished.
Yeah, that's true. Let's kill this.
Leofstan-
We can win without it.
Leofstan would also prefer to prioritize his well-being.
Can he position himself so that the ogre is between him and the missiles?
That usually is called being in the background of missile fire, and is a great way to be hit with stray fire. Like standing behind a guy while you're. If I stand behind someone and other people are shooting at him, that puts me in danger. He wants to be on a flank.
Yeah.
He wants to be on a flank line.
Yeah.
All right.
I hate being a backstop.
All right. Those of you who can make ranged attacks may do so.
Declare spells.
You may declare spells if you wish.
Magic missile!
Magic missile.
Turn off your light radiance. I need there to be like an on-off switch for the lights in these things. All right. His armor class is. What doing? 14. If you hit a 14 or higher, roll damage.
5 damage.
He is out of sling range, right? Yes.
Remember, you can fire up to double range at a penalty.
Yeah,
3 damage.
I'm gonna do that. Ooh. That might actually hit still.
Richard,
Oh, yeah,
could Leofstan move and backstab after the missile phase?
yes.
Okay, he'd like to do that.
Especially because the ogre will be paying a lot of more attention to the PC party at that point. Looks like we've got 2 hits for 5 and 3 damage. The ogre is feathered, furious, lashing a heavy club made of nailed together planks. Begins stomping boldly directly towards the party. Lofstan takes advantage of its distraction. Alright, what is this this last 6 you just rolled?
Was that for the backstab? I mean, yeah.
I assume so. Well, its armor class is 14, so unfortunately, even with a +4 to hit, I don't think Lofstan is... Okay, NPC... He is a what level thief? No, yeah. He's a 4th level thief, but that's not going to be enough for him to drop the hit. His dagger embeds in the creature's back and catches on one of its bones. The creature whirls around.
Uh-oh.
It takes a swing,
Uh-oh.
praying for Ulfstan. Oh no.
Ooh. Oh no.
Ulfstan is struck clearly and takes a terrible injury. At once, Ulfstan is struck down,
Oh
knocked
crap.
to his condition unclear. But he does not rise from where he falls. Now, magical missiles.
Alright, hits automatically.
Alright, roll that damage. Alright.
12 for me.
12 for me as
Also
well.
obliterated. The ogre is... Ulfstan is promptly avenged as the ogre is struck down and much more unambiguously killed.
Oh, Ulfstan.
What do you do?
Run to him immediately. Or fly.
Zolatan swoops down upon him. Oh no! Ulfstan's been cleanly killed. His neck snapped by the immense strike of the creature. The terrible creature struck him down with one blow.
Damn it.
He was so brave, and yet... If you bring him home soon, you know that you can resurrect him from the dead, or rather, at least, that Father Bloombad can.
I'd say that's now our top priority. What would you say?
It needs to be soon, but it is a matter
Regrets
of
on.
days, not hours. We have an affordance.
Oh.
However, you must secure his body to ensure it is not molested
Yeah,
or eaten by wandering
so.
creatures. Where
We
will
can
you
take it
secure
out
it?
to the. We can take it out to the ship.
That is true. If you wish, you can just spend an hour and we can make that happen.
I'd say that's our top priority.
Let's
Any
go
objection?
back this way, since we have to go back one way or another. Let's just go back
Yep.
this way.
Fair enough.
Now, about the ogre itself. Did it have anything nice? The answer, unfortunately, is no. Aside from his bare and naked body and his unwieldy club, he carried nothing.
No ogre dollars?
No ogre mugs.
No big money.
Oh man.
Ugh.
Rip Ulfstan.
Not even a coupon.
So you advance this way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I assume you guys arrange to... Who is carrying Ulfstan? I assume
Perderi
Ufkell
will.
and Perderi are carrying Ulfstan. Okay.
Yeah, Perderi is his equipment is very light. He will carry him.
This is true. You advance forward along the other path. As you expected, I will spare you too much detail. This place is another cavern, which connects back to the other path, and reveals that this
Another
intersection is a
path.
T intersection.
Oh my. Well, we know where this loops back. I suppose... Okay. I'm dying to find out about that thing.
Important news. To the northwest, you can dimly hear the sound of moving water.
Oh, that does sound important. Perhaps a quick peek? Is that okay with everybody?
Mhm.
I will go on ahead. I'm quick.
All right. This will take you... You're moving at super cautious mapping speed, so...
Is this like a percentage of how quick you normally move, or I don't know? I guess it doesn't make sense to be like cautiously flying.
Okay. It takes you about... So... It takes... One turn passes,
Like
and
this.
you make it to the next intersection, which leads to the... To the west, you can faintly smell rot. To the north, you can hear you can softly hear moving water, and you can smell fresh air.
I will I'm willing to take one more turn to go north and try to see if I can find the fresh air. And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to go like uncautious to get back.
All right.
Or if it does work anyway, because I'll.
Any objections to this? No objections heard?
Nope.
Onward we go. You advance to the northwest.
Oh, heck.
You see a small nook to the east, and to the north, you can see that the northern edge of this cavern opens up into a small underground cove, which is accessible from the lakeshore.
The lakeshore. Wow,
Yes, let me get you a bit more information on this.
that could be big.
Yes,
Mhm.
this is a path which leads outside. Okay. There is a small grotto which leads from this cave. You can see to the north the big lake to the outside.
Because is the lake the thing that because it sits on a cliffside, right? The monastery.
So so you're at water level, more or less.
Okay. Wow.
Let me verify that, because the
What I really need to.
geometry of this dungeon era is genuinely complex.
Would it
Well,
be?
the cloister was up on a cliff, so it makes sense that going down a couple of levels brings you to water level.
Yeah, you're about 60 feet below where the upper levels.
Is it a river or is it to the lake, or is it a lake? Is it on the river or the lake?
It's on the lake.
Okay. Okay, so there's some big lake here. Okay, so really quick question, and I'm not trying to cheese this, but we've done something like this before. Would both Magnus and Leofston be safer if Magnus and his muscle wizard powers just lifted him off like an angel into the air and just took him away from here? Because
I don't have
fly.
fly. I don't have fly right now.
Oh,
We didn't sleep on the way here.
okay, yeah. Oh, I thought we did. That
You
was why.
did.
Oh yeah, we totally
Yeah,
did. It takes
it's
you a
both
day and a
ways.
half to get here.
We
It's
did.
the next day. You had a chance to regenerate your
I-
spell slots.
Either way.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
it would
I
be
don't
lightning
have-
bolts either way.
I don't have fly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then our dragon person is tiny arms. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
I got coils, but trying to do that with like him being completely like dead and limp and not able to help himself. And like,
I heard something crack. Oh, I broke something again.
Yeah,
He'll be
it's
okay.
like-
He's already dead.
Yeah, he's not getting any deader. But
I was
like,
gonna say, if we got into conflict, Perdera's just gonna drop him like a sack of potatoes. So, like,
It happens. We have done this.
Poor love
okay.
stand.
All right.
okay, let's just take it back normal.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
All right. One quick question, and I'm just being greedy. So it's going to take the better part of a day of work to shatter the stones to access that strange vestibule.
Mm-hmm. But
Okay.
you've got guys for it now, if you're willing to escort them.
Is this... So, okay. All right, yes. So we head back.
You head back. I think it's about... You came in here at about 2:30. You mucked around for a while. You come back at about 4 into the outer cloister. At this point, your normal... Like, you're just... Yeah, so at these guys.
Are people here working?
Yeah.
Nice.
we of course warn them away from touching the little frog pond or going near it.
They are going to take that thoroughly on board, I assure you. They've relit the
Reiterate
place
that
with...
they are not to hurt the raccoon.
Yes.
This was in the
More
days...
importantly,
I think
my
before
friend is
the...
dead.
What was that, Ross?
I was going to say something stupid. I think this is in the days before the tort system where we just say, beware the pond, and we don't explain ourselves, and if anybody's dumb enough to get in the pond, that's, well, the light wills it.
I think they might ask some follow-up questions, actually. I think they might want to know what the heck you're talking about. That's a thing which could happen.
Well, we could point to which pond we mean. I mean, other than that, it seems pretty clear.
Yes. So Lufstan is taken into custody, or rather his corpse is. And the crew is sufficiently shocked to learn that you guys were down there for like 2 hours and already one of you is dead. Seems like a bad start to their employment.
It's only Tuesday.
He'll get better.
I hope so.
I hope so. I mean, he might not. Like, there's a
That's
roll.
true too.
That is true.
Oh no. Praying for
That
Lufstan.
might have just been it for Lovestand. Like, damn.
I hope it's not. I like
Let's-
Lufstan.
Can we resolve that? Can we? So
Not yet.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's press on, and we got another half hour or so, 35 minutes.
Oh,
It's true.
I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna
Game's not over yet.
Oh,
No. He'll keep.
Oh,
But yeah,
my
we
bad.
have to give up on our plan to spend a week here. We got to get him back ASAP. Not like absolute ASAP, but as few days
Yeah, but
as
we-
reasonably practical.
We have
we can-
stuff. I have stuff I want to get from there. I want the Sword of Sarachek anyway, and there are other good reasons to go back, so it makes sense. Although, why don't we take some workers right now? We don't have that much time left, and crack open that thing and get it back.
Alrighty.
So instead of exploring more, we basically just bodyguard them for however long.
Well, it might be. It might. This might turn into our next 15 or 20 minutes if it goes badly.
No, it's not a bad idea. I'm just making sure that's what you mean.
I want to throw. I have to admit, I am like I dang, I want to know what this thing is. It's probably
fair.
just gonna like disintegrate when we touch it or something. You know,
Something stupid like that.
Okay, let's give it a
Load.
shot. I'm willing to
Alright.
spend basically the rest of our time doing that.
You escort the laborers down into the depths. They are suitably shocked and horrified at the presence of the ogre, especially when they. What are you going to do with this ogre's carcass, by the way?
I don't know.
Put it in the amber pool.
Mm.
As good a solution as any. Ufkell starts hauling it away. Ogre is removed from play.
Careful, don't let it
There's
slosh
nothing
on
in
you.
there that Ullman would be interested in, I assume. Like, he's seen these guys.
He's seen ogres, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They're a known thing. The laborers bring their
Known
tools
unknown.
to bear and begin levering away the chunks of the wall. One moment.
Like release a lich or something.
The vibe that I get is that the skeletons trapped inside are not like a contained evil, but rather like something bad that's happened to someone.
I don't
But
know.
I don't know.
All I
Maybe
know
it's
is
a
it
lich.
is evil.
Magnus, you should have a laboratory here, one of these rooms.
There was a laboratory
an
here.
interim one.
Yeah, there was a laboratory here, and we took it. We looted it.
Well, which
Yep.
room is it?
I'd feel much better looting the place and bringing it all back to my laboratory.
Oh,
Which
actually,
we
we have to
did.
do that anyway, come to think of it. So, yeah, that's fine. I'm just thinking about future operations here.
Have any idea how much that cost me to put together?
The as the laborers work, and the rest of you guys pull security. Eventually, they begin to draw forth from the wall a total of 5 skeletons, each one encysted in
5 of them.
strange green glass.
Wow.
Each one is tremendously heavy, easily 300 pounds.
Oof.
Moving them will be difficult. You don't think you can get all of them back to Kayden's
So
rest? in
there's
one
5,
day?
you said?
Yes.
So 1,500 pounds. Damn. We could
We
bring
can
like
get
one
that to the
back.
boat. We can get that to the boat.
You want to
That's
bring all
the
5
rest
back
of
to
the day's
Kayden's rest?
labor. Right? 300 pounds apiece. That's like 2 men could carry that, 2 strong men.
And we also don't need to bring it up the stairs and back down the cliff. We can just haul the we can bring the Myrmidon, I think, if it can reach that lake. If the lake is connected, which I think it is, then we can just have the Myrmidon haul up at the lake shore in the cove and load them that way.
That may be possible. It's worth a shot. You'll have to do some navigation to see if you can manage it.
Better than hauling it all the way up those stairs.
Yeah, carrying 300-pound boulders up 60 feet of stairs is More than a 2-man job.
Yeah, four-man lift, easy.
It might be more than 4. Oh, you've got
Like
10.
if it's
so-
like slippery amber.
Well, what does it look like to try to navigate the Myrmidon into the channel?
Yeah, this is kind
You
of where the
think you
map
can-
kind of breaks down.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what this should look like. It's a pretty low channel. You'll have to. Does the Myrmidon have a mast? I can't remember or not. Because if it has a
mentioned
mast,
sailing.
it definitely isn't making it in here.
Oh heck! It could also have a mast. You could remove
I
it.
thought it was a paddle boat.
It's a
Longboat.
Paddle oars.
it's a keel boat. It's able
keel
to
boat.
operate on pretty narrow riverways and shallow waters and stuff.
Yeah, if it isn't masted, or if you can remove the mast, then yeah, you can get it in there.
Lots of keelboats had masts, and I don't know when it would have been the case that you could remove the mast.
Well, I am.
There's
Well, it's Ufkell's estate, so I'm happy to cede this matter to Ufkell's decision.
there is a picture of it right here.
Ooh,
Oh God, is there?
Yeah. It's right here, and it does have a mast.
Show me, show me, show me.
Now, I am not an expert, but I'm pretty sure that as long as ships have had masts, you could remove them because of stormy weather.
That's what I recall. Yeah.
And repairs, yeah.
Yeah, the bosun just have him remove the mast.
Something. But I am not an expert. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I know that like a lot of IRL boats, like a lot of modern boats will have like removable masts, but I don't know when that caught on.
Well, we either leave it up to Richard to rule or look it up on Google.
AI, hello again. Tell me about killboats in the 9th century
I'm not outsourcing to a robot.
Scottish channels, waterways.
Especially not if it's smarter than me. Hate that.
It's,
The trouble with those
it's
things is
probably
that
not
there's-
smarter than you, Richard, but it's smarter than me, so I usually yield to the robot, but I don't
The
blame
thing
you.
is, I mean, in some regards, it's smarter than anybody, but the thing is that it will, if it doesn't know something, it will confidently make up an answer.
That's
That's the
true.
real danger.
You gotta admire it for that.
Yeah, they're good GMs that way.
It's useful in fiction. Anyway, I'm going to say that you cannot get the keelboat in. You will need to reconfigure the keelboat, which you cannot do at present because you do not have the facilities to do it. You may be able to manage it later.
Could we create sledges to drag these easily, rather than having to carry the full weight?
Not tremendously easily, but you could do it. There are trees nearby which you could harvest.
Well, look, we just need to know what it is. So let's just get one back so that Magnus can examine it, and that'll.
Well, what can we tell about them here? We've got these powerful light
Good question.
things with us, so we
Here
may
is what
decide
you
one of them
tell
looks
about them
richer than the
presently.
other.
We may be able to make a lot of money with Ufkell. Or not
We may
Ufkell,
we may
Ullman.
decide we can crack them open right here and now.
The objects in question are sizable slabs of sea green glass with shadowy humanoid skeletal forms frozen under their smooth surface. There are 5 of them. They, as you've established, they radiate evil when using detect evil.
Only bringing one back is a good idea just on principles, because
The tools that have been used by the laborers have not been able to mark their surfaces.
I could totally imagine bringing these back and like the next morning they're all busted open and then like a villager starts disappearing each night.
Oh, one villager? Come on, man. Roll 10d6.
So okay. This crystal that's surrounding them, you say it's glass?
It looks glassy. It could also be described as amber. It doesn't strike you as actually glass because it seems too richly colored for most glass you've seen. It's more like a holly bush, which is not a color you've really seen on glass.
Okay.
Or
what
you're
ca-
asking because you want to know if it's fragile?
No, because I want to know if it has something to do Is there some relation? Is it like a stone that I would recognize, only enlarged? Like, is it enlarged emerald? I want to try to see if there's a correlation between this and the enlarged stone that was around it.
No. Does not strike you as an embiggened form of any natural stone.
All right, and then, is there anything we can tell to differentiate the figures, the skeletal figures within?
The skeletal figures appear to be human skeletons, that are wrapped in a very thin layer of a sort of leathery skin-like material.
Okay.
Does it look like they could be melted by extreme heat? This amber?
You don't know. Do you wish to test it?
The thing is, I'm not sure we should bring these back to town. They radiate evil.
Yeah.
Well, one of the main
agree.
features of your tower is its very power to be able to keep things in it without being able to release them.
That is true.
What would be the point of bringing them back if we don't know,
Because he can identify it. He can.
Oh, Ullman, yeah.
No, Magnus.
Yeah, I can
In his
spend some
lab.
time studying things. Yes, if we're going to bring one back, we should try to bring as many back as we can, because if the idea is it should be contained, then it should be contained.
Well, maybe they need to be destroyed in the amber pool or something.
Who knows?
That's a thought.
My thinking is
I
to
was
bring
actually-
just one back in order to minimize the threat that it would pose to Kayden's rest if it were to escape.
However,
What-
while
what-
we're here, and there's 5 of them, let's just see what happens if we put one in the pool. I mean, there's
Let's just dribble a little bit onto it. Use
How
the
about
metal
a ho-
tool, scoop them
How
up.
about holy water? Dribble a little of that.
I do have a flask of holy water if you want me to just dump one on there.
Yeah, I've got one too.
All right, is this happening?
Zolatan, you want to use yours?
Sure. I just wish I had some way of knowing if it was a good idea or not.
it's probably not. Just assume it's not.
Well, hang on a sec.
we-
Let's think
we-
back. Let's think back. We were told not to desecrate anything. And
Yeah,
by
but
desecrate, I
Bloombad-
mean sanctify.
Bloombad
Well,
does-
desecrate the altars.
Altars.
Yeah,
okay.
And Bloombad used holy water as a precedent on these unholy things.
Can you desecrate
Bloombad.
something that's already so evil?
It wasn't my words.
Yeah,
I'm just repeating.
We got to wipe this evil out.
it's your holy water, my friend.
No, it's not the holy water I'm worried about, though. I did pay for it. I'm worried about what might happen.
Do we want to try a dribble of the acid first? Just like a drop?
We have to haul it over there first to do that.
You can sort of roll it. It's honestly moving it around on the same floor is much more tractable than getting it upstairs.
Okay.
I'll dribble some holy water on it.
Okay.
One.
The holy water is being dribbled. The reaction is as follows. Nothing. The holy water drips down the sides and does not react to it in any particular fashion. Are you going to roll one towards the amber liquid so that you can, or are you going to bring the amber liquid to hit?
It'd probably be easier just to bring some of the liquid to it.
Yeah, even just like stick it to like a sword or something.
All right.
Just don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Very carefully, you bring some of the amber liquid to the green encysted skeletons. And you apply the amber liquid to the green skeleton. The reaction is as follows. Nothing. The amber liquid sits inert upon the green surface of the cyst.
So I have a probably over-engineered way that we could maybe safely secure these, is to just tie them in some sort of rope or something like that and haul them over to the amber pool and submerge them in that.
Then
Be
how
aware.
do we get them out?
Yeah.
The rope will disintegrate,
They've probably
Yeah, they
been
don't
sitting
float.
here for like 100 years.
at least.
So I don't think that a couple more, like another 2 weeks, is going to cause a problem.
I
Bringing
actually,
one back
No.
to Kayden's Rest might cause a problem.
my vote is actually still, because we have to go back to Kayden's Rest.
Mhm.
I say we bring one. and we take the risk of bringing it directly to Magnus's tower. It goes to port. We carry it right away without delay. It goes nowhere else, straight to his tower, where we know it's safe. And then he
I do not like this idea, Ufkell says. I think this is the evil influence that animated these froggy acolytes. I think it's the source. I mean, it's down in the bowels. I wouldn't bring it into my backyard, into my hearth and home. No, sir.
Could we bring him near?
If it is to go anywhere, it must be my tower. Surely you agree.
But if this is a force we can't reckon with, how do we know it won't decimate your tower?
Out of character, you can be relatively confident that if you bring a weird Guga back from the dungeons
Don't tell us.
and stick it in,
No, it's a mechanic. It's a thing.
Yeah, it is a
Before your
mechanic.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
it's-
No.
Yeah.
This is a formal capacity of Magnus's tower, which is that if you pick up weird, awful things from afar and stash them in the basement, they will not horrifically destroy everything. It is a place of containment, an SCP zone. It's not completely fail-safe. It is possible for you to bring back something which is stronger than the tower.
Mhm.
But even in such a circumstance, I would look you in the eye and tell you honestly that you are making a mistake before you did it, or you'd have some sort of warning.
I like the instinct though test. I agree usually, but the before long ago he made this tower. The whole point of it was that it specifically it can and he's kept all kinds of weird stuff in it. So that's been a thing.
Horrifying as it is, he has a class feature.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Grotesque violation of OSR.
No, I mean, like we're operating off so little information that it makes sense to have something like that.
I mean, maybe we
Alright,
don't
so
want
in that
these
case-
workers nearby. Like we have no idea right now. So
All right, so in that case, the only question is whether we're going to bring all 5 back, or try to, or as many as we can, or just one.
well,
I'm still leaning towards
my,
just one.
My vote continues to be we abstract getting the one back. I mean, how many can we actually get back, Richard? Can we get one back
Yeah.
safely with no
Yeah,
problem?
you can just do that. It's ornery. You'll have to haul the thing up some stairs and then get it onto the boat. But there's a bunch of manpower here. You can do it.
My vote is that we really do try to get a couple more rooms looked at before we have to shut it down for the night, just because. you know.
okay, yeah, let's.
Very long time, but okay. Okay, let's do it then.
I do think if we can get one, then we could spend time to get more. So I think there is an option
I
possibly
just
The
don't-
there.
concern
How
is
about
just
one?
there's only so much you can carry.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
Look,
just don't
or
know. I just don't
mistake.
know if there's a benefit to getting more than one at this stage. If we decide they're awesome or something, or there's a reason to get all 4, we can go back later, and that can be a whole thing.
Ufkell might be right, and we might want to be like, we need to get back there and put this in the pool. You know, we don't know.
I mean, do we want to at least kind of shove them back in the wall a little bit?
All right.
I regret to inform you it
Just
is
like
not possible
hanging
to
out of the wall
unbreak
part.
stone.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the stone's chopped up, so
We used to have a wand for that, but alas.
It saved our lives once.
Yeah, more than once, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So if we're gonna explore another room, we better do so immediately.
Let's do it.
All right, pick a direction.
There's a lot of branching, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of branches to the west. Like if we go north of the flesh melting pool, and then we go west of there, and then we take another left, there'd be another question mark.
West was the smell of rot. That sounds
I
like ghouls.
think so. Yes. So that's maybe they're zombies. Or maybe they have treasure.
Lead us there, Zolatan Mapper.
Okay. Crap, I gotta start over from the beginning. Okay, so down the straight stairs, south of there, up the short steps to the frog statue, turn the lever down, open the secret door, take a right, go south, go east, then take a right at the statue, go south to the down the stairs. We take a right, we go straight from, hang on, I got it. Crap, I gotta organize this better.
You're going back to the
paper's
amber
just
pool,
all
right?
over the damn. Yeah, we go to the dais. We go north of the dais. We go take a right. Then we take a left. That brings us to the flesh melting amber pool. We scoot past the tree. We go to north of there. We take a right. Then we take a left that takes us north. Then we take a left that takes us west. And then we take a left that takes us south, which I think is where the smell of melting flesh was coming from, or rotting flesh coming from.
All right, activating this thing again. Getting you all into the right page. All right, force moving you guys to the right spot.
Yeah.
Smell of rot coming from this direction.
Yeah, that's the direction where I just described.
Okay. You advance cautiously through the caves. There's a pungent stench, which only grows sharper as you go farther in.
Maybe this is a bad idea.
This mostly just looks like fungus, mold. There's big footsteps here. Big footsteps. Or rather, big footprints in the mold.
Alright, so it's probably the guy we killed.
Yes.
Probably, but it could be another one.
We had
This
a,
narrow
I wish we
passage.
had a ranger.
This narrow passageway extends.
Whoa.
There is a narrow passageway which ended in what looks like to have once been a boarded-up hallway, which has been smashed open. In the distance, you can see a lot of bodies rotting on the ground in what looks like a flagstone-paved area, a proper chamber rather than just a cavern. What do you do?
Do we want to start a fight with 15 minutes left on the clock?
I'm
I think we
where.
can wrap it up.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, AJ.
Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I actually don't like our combat power with all these things like two hit dice or worse zombies, if not ghouls and things and ghasts. Like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I think we put a pin in that.
And
I do have a
forget,
lightning
can
bolt.
they-
left,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
was about. Yeah, he could lightning bolt. I could use
Okay.
a phantasmal force, try to do some AOE.
I have a
and
lightning
that'll-
bolt, 2 webs,
That's
2
a-
more magic
That's
missiles.
exactly what we should use. See,
And
I'm not thinking
protection
about
from evil.
Magnus. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, let's just kill these things. Let's do it.
All right, are you obliterating them?
Hang on a sec.
Man.
I think they're
Suckers
in a
act like they
position where.
forgot about Magnus over here.
I forgot I'm him. I do think that it might make sense for me to lead with a web, though. How do you feel about that?
That is pretty good. I
Fine
like
with-
it.
I think a combo, whatever the bolt doesn't kill, the web ties down. Seems like a
Okay.
good idea.
Onan is packing a hold person, but he's going to save that for a particular necessary target.
For a second, I thought you said a whole person.
Oh no, you left him upstairs.
Yeah, I was about to say. Okay, so I think I should open with the web. You say you should open with the lightning bolt. What do you say, party caller?
Yeah, that sounds great. I like it.
Well, I mean, which one of us goes first?
You can simulcast. You can go. At the
Okay,
same
let's just do
time.
it. Well,
The web will catch fire.
That's
All
fine.
right,
You
well, then
want
web
them to
second.
be on fire.
Lightning,
light-
then
the
web.
lightning bolt,
Lightning, then
that's-
web. Let's do it.
lightning, then web, and it's not
Okay.
like they'll be able to move in between the two of them or anything. They'll
Alright.
move beforehand, if anything, unless we
All right.
surprise them.
What's that called when you have artillery like come in like you got that one and then
I'm
you
on
got the
target.
next one?
Fire for effect.
No, time on target.
No, it's I know what you're talking
You
about.
fi- it's both.
Rolling
You
artillery
time on
or something
target
like
and then
that?
fire for effect.
Well, we'll do that. Lightning and then web. It'd be great. It'd be great.
It is great. Here's what. Okay, you do this. Yes, Ross.
Yes.
I look.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay, here is what happens. There is a app. You completely obliterate these bodies. They go flying all over the place.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
Whereupon they are then ensnared in webbing. A moment later, it becomes clear to you that in fact they were actually just bodies. They were not actually zombies at this time.
Aha! That'll show them.
In fact, you recognize these bodies in
Oh.
their grotesquerie. These are the bodies which were dragged away from the church.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like that gigantic awful creature has been gnawing on them because they are missing a lot of meat.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
Well, that's silly.
What else is in this room?
This room is cold and empty. Its only furnishings are a bed of flea-ridden furs, a bucket of water, apparently from the lake shore to the north, and, here's the exciting bit, a shelf of goblin and human skulls. There is
Oh.
also a key ring, which hangs on a nail on the south wall.
Okay.
There used to be a barrier of nailed-together planks barricading the way into these caverns, but apparently someone got bored of waiting for someone else to come get him and decided to just go explore.
Okay. We'll take the key ring. Let's take a spear or several spears and poke around in here and see if there's anything valuable. Let's see if there are any other ways in or out of here. And
All right, in the pile of bedding, who is searching it?
I
You
will.
guys, okay, you are searching it. You find 24 gold pieces in the filthy bedding.
That's better than 0.
I like to think that Magnus and Zolatan high-fived each other.
Yeah.
after that.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know. We figured it out.
I got my
Hoof to
psychokinesis.
tail. Hoof to
Yeah,
tail.
that works too.
It's gotten weird, y'all. It's gotten weird.
We like it that way.
Yeah, only now it's gotten
Weirdest hacky. While
is
we're
that the
bored, just the
episode
weirdest
title?
hacky sacking happening.
You can see that to the west there is a passageway, more natural cavern, leading elsewhere. Do you wish to pursue it?
Yeah, we want to take a quick look.
Bump, 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 bump. Yes, I can rotate it. Bump, 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 bump,
It
bump.
just never ends.
Bump, bump, bump,
Wow.
bump, bump. It just keeps going.
Holy
Bump,
crap.
bump.
Man,
Oh, some stairs going up.
this cloister
place is
complex, it could be its own campaign. It's so I gotta say, this book is impressive, y'all. Like the actual Rappan Athuk book, it's like
Yeah, that's
it's like
so much
20
here.
it's nuts, man. Okay. Oh, we found a way down.
But this is a curving.
You've been here before. This
yeah.
place seems familiar. You're near the fortress. You're near the prison section.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you know where that is, Zolatan?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you can connect those maps. If that's the
Yes.
case, I say let's call it a win. Let's get the heck out of here and go home.
Away you go. You scamper on back to the boat. And return home, leaving the guards and laborers behind to make do with this exciting, dangerous posting. We'll see how they do when we get back next week. I shall
Nice.
now roll, see how Lufston's resurrection goes.
Fingers crossed. Oh, Sealy. Actually, I have some other way of doing it.
He has a 50-50 shot.
Oh, that's not as
Wait,
good as I thought.
no, his is 75% shot. He's good. A 13.
Oh, phew.
Nice.
Wow.
Whew.
He awakens like this. Let me at him.
Man, Leofston might be the next one in the lives of the heroes of Otherworld. He might actually be the one.
Did you get him?
We did get him.
Good.
Calm
Did
down.
he have anything good?
No,
I
not
want
a
it.
damn thing. Not a damn fucking
I
thing.
give him 24 gold.
Oh, heck yeah.
Can I do that? Is that okay?
I get mad at him for just running at an ogre alone. Like once everything's settled down and we like got him calmed down and like, oh, it's so good to see you. Like, what were you thinking?
Gonna shank him.
And then
His
what?
kidneys were right there.
Okay.
He's
Gonna
got
bleed
two of
to
them.
death. That's what was next.
In,
Oh,
in-
and then what happened?
You don't go for the kiddies, you go for
Well-
the gizzard.
in the 7 minutes we have left, I'm sorry. Did we got one back, right?
Yes, you did.
Can we go ahead and resolve that? That's interesting
Yes.
to me.
Here, so you haul this tremendous, bizarre magical prodigy into off the boat, roll it into Magnus's tower, and then very carefully roll it down the stairs. This is probably a team effort between Magnus and Morpert to roll this thing without it squishing anybody. And now you have the world's most ominous paperweight in your basement.
It's so ominous.
So it doesn't do anything.
Not as far as you can tell.
Okay.
It I'll tell you what it does do. It's super creepy.
That's pretty good for a
Awful
wizard's
vibes.
tower. But honestly, I think we ought to
It
ask.
illuminates the area with a dull green light.
I think we should ask Ullman because that might mean money.
I
You
agree.
want to? Okay.
Yeah.
A creepy guy likes creepy things.
Are you going to bring this
if Ullman-
enormous
if-
heavy object?
Can I invite him? Can I invite him to the tower?
His flesh tendril has to extend all the way across though. He's never left, I don't
What?
think. I don't. Never mind. I
Don't
didn't
worry
say
about it.
anything. Yeah, don't worry about it. Never
Yeah.
mind.
I vaguely remember some disturbing illustration.
Listeners, you didn't hear me say anything. That wasn't recorded. Never mind.
Oh, man.
Who among us doesn't have a flesh tendril? We've all got.
Oh,
We all got a few of those. Anyway,
Is he willing to visit for an appraisal?
if you can. What you just said.
Does he
Be
have like a
contemplating.
creepy magic thing, like send a raven or an eyeball or some weird ass thing?
Always cool.
uh,
I mean, he is chaotic. I mean, you give
will
something evil
go-
to him.
he will come to your tower if you
That's
host
my
a proper
riddle.
meal for him, so that there is food there for him when he arrives, because he does not wish to be a guest unfed.
Oh,
I
it's
have
gonna
a
be
domestic
some.
servant. Shouldn't be a problem.
All right, sure.
Can I ask something?
You-
I mean, can we trust Ullman? I mean, he does
Yes.
research.
Yes. Magnus trusts him implicitly.
Oh, okay. I mean, I trust Magnus's tower. Should I trust Ullman with this thing? Because
Magnus reassures you in no uncertain terms that Ullman is 100. He might be the most trustworthy denizen of the peninsula.
the most trustworthy chaotic person.
We don't. We
Here's
have
what
no
here's what
proof
you
that
know
he-
about Ullman. Whatever god-awful nightmarish thing he's going to do in defiance of all God's laws with this device, he'll do it somewhere far away. It won't be your problem. Don't worry about it.
Let's sell it.
This guy's like the big bad evil guy in another campaign, and they're like, "Where are these things coming from?"
It's true.
Yes.
And I'm gonna run that campaign. It's gonna, it's true.
That's an amazing idea. Okay.
Don't dare me.
Does he like it?
So here's what happens. Ullman. So at first you think, oh yeah, Ullman just comes on over, and then you notice that the thing which claims to be Ullman and has come to your house to speak on Ullman's behalf is definitely not Ullman, but
Yeah.
appears to be some sort of. Looks to be like it's a robe filled with some sort of construct of twigs and
Nice.
rickety wirework, which moves in a very unsettling way,
Impressive.
and has a face which is clearly made from
Oh.
pig's leather.
Oh man, what does he eat other than the food?
Do you? I assume you enjoy a roast leg of mutton.
He does enjoy it. Let's
Oh.
not get into how.
He does enjoy. He eats the
Let's
mutton.
not get it-
That's worse
let's
for
not-
some
Oh, man.
reason.
I didn't say he ate it. Let's just say he enjoys it and then move on.
Okay.
And
Oh
okay,
boy.
he observes the glassy cyst, touches it carefully, brings his face close to it, and says, "I will buy this from you. This is a valuable thing. There's more pain in this than you could find anywhere else on the planet."
Oh, good news then.
Yes, for you. I will purchase this from you for a high price. I will take this for... Let's see. A third its weight in gold.
Pounds of gold.
That's 1,000 gold pieces.
Pieces are
Excellent.
so heavy, it's crazy.
Will you pay the same for more, or is it just the one?
I'll pay half again. I'll pay half as much for the next. How many do you have?
If they're still there when we return, there were 4 others.
I'll pay you another 2,000 gold pieces for them.
Could we find out what it is?
Do you want to ask?
I mean, I'm probably not there.
Does Magnus want to ask?
Yes,
But-
yes.
What is it? Why, it's a prisoner. They're still alive in there, and under tremendous torment. An ancient curse levied upon them for some trespass or another. They're beyond your power to help. Just as well you didn't engage with them too closely. To touch their mind could destroy you. I'll
Yes,
take this off your hands.
just as well. Oh, well, it's on my mind, and while I've got you here, anything to be done about, these? And I show my hooves to him.
How high up your legs do they go?
All the way.
I show what is it, like the calves? Or I think
About mid-thigh.
Oh, man, that's
okay.
that's
Yeah.
up there.
Well, then, I indicate then simply with my hand on top of my robe.
Progressing.
For modesty's sake.
Yes, it would not be the first time. I'd have to procure replacements, but it could be arranged.
You'd lose that awesome bird you got.
Replacements?
Yes, you'd have to find suitable alternative flesh. Unless, of course, you happen to have the old ones lying around somewhere.
No, not. I'm not quite sure where they are to be procured.
I will arrange it for a suitable fee. We'll discuss it more later.
Indeed, I must think on it. Not quite sure whether I need the old ones anyway.
We know
As
where
you
the
will.
ogre legs are.
Have your many servants bring this. What's the word I'm looking for?
Prisoner?
Bring this
Prisoner?
oubliette to my
Oh.
hut, and we'll take it from your hands.
Oh man, it's even worse.
With that, we conclude our Dungeons and Dragons for the evening. Lufstan returns at level 4, I believe.
Hey.
And I believe a certain Ufkell has now reached level 5.
Yeah, how delightfully sword and sorcery that was. Fantastic. Thanks, Richard.
The moral here is this. When you've got less than 11 hit points, don't get into melee range with an ogre.
Mythic Mountains RPG is a private online play club that focuses on folk RPGs. Folk RPGs are the games that belong to all of us. They're what actually happens at a table between friends. It's their voice that has the authority on what is fun and what works for them. Weekly, we upload our games to allow others to sit in with us. The channel isn't monetized. We don't own the artwork, music, software, or games shown in these actual plays, and you can find links to their authors in the description. Like, subscribe, and share if you wish, or don't. Just like games in person, you're welcome to pull up a chair, sit in, and watch some of our games. No performances, no fancy equipment, just regular people playing folk pencil and paper role-playing games and having a good time. We hope these games will prove a source of enjoyment to anyone just wanting to listen in, anyone looking for examples of how actual groups run and play folk RPGs, and most importantly, if you haven't found your group yet, you're welcome here at ours.